Here and tell you about the Western New York housing market. Of course, it's been pretty wild. 2021, extremely competitive in Western New York. Realtor.com actually lists the hottest areas, and the Buffalo, Cheektowaga, Niagara Falls region ranked 161 out of 300 metros in the U.S. for November, kind of right in the middle. This is considered a warm market that is heating up compared to last month, but cooling down slightly compared to last year. Inventory is moving faster than last year, but slower than the U.S. overall. So what do we make of that? What does it mean for us here locally? Our Scott Levin joins us now to talk about it. He went through some of the data that was published by our partners at Buffalo Business First. And Scott, I know you also spoke with a local real estate expert. What is kind of the big takeaway from all this?
Yeah, you know, Michael, I love this type of stuff, and I've done a lot of homework on it. It has been, of course, as we all know, a true seller's market the past few years. Now, combine a very low inventory locally and affordable interest rates, and it fueled a record number of home sales. That makes people little frantic. So let's go through the numbers here. Data from the Buffalo Niagara Association of Realtors shows the average sale price for the January to November period rose 16.1% from 2020 to 21. Now, days on the market, that dropped from 36 days down to 22 days on the market. And the number of closed sales increased 7.7%. That's pretty good. Many who didn't jump to buy a home in 2021 are wanting to know, is now the time? So I spoke to Charles Hunt at Hunt Real Estate and asked him what inventory is like right now here in the region and how long these low interest rates will last.
Right now, inventory is still very, very tight. The average days on market through the end of 2021 was 18 days for the Buffalo Association. In the end of 2020, it was 30 days. So that tells you that the inventory is continuing to remain tight. Buyer demand is remaining strong. As far as interest rates go, you know, the Fed has said they're going to raise rates 2 or 3 times, potentially in 2022. However, I don't think they're going to skyrocket. If you look at the cost of say $100,000 of borrowed money on a 30-year conventional loan at 3.5% versus say 4.5%, the difference is $28 per month. I don't think that that's going to push a lot of people to the sidelines. I think that the buyers that still need to buy a house will buy houses.
All right, Scott, so you mentioned low inventory, low interest rates. There is a third factor here, though, having to do with the pandemic.
Yeah.
A lot of people's jobs changed dramatically, and now they're either partially or completely remote, and that sort of throws a wrinkle in everything.
Yeah, and you've done a lot of stories on this too, Michael. I talked to Charlie about that as well. Now, when the pandemic hit a couple of years ago, people were all of a sudden spending a lot more time at home with families at their home offices, and what used to work for them maybe wasn't working for them anymore during the pandemic. So an awful lot of people, they packed up, they went home, and in many cases keeping a big city salary but moving to a more affordable place like right here in Western New York.
A lot of people moved back to the area that probably were thinking about moving back in 5 years, maybe 6, 7 years, that once something happened in their life, and they were sort of tied to that office in, say, New York or Boston, but they always had the plan to move back home to Buffalo. I think that got accelerated quite a bit for a lot of people. I think there was a significant movement of people saying, look, I need a different kind of house. I don't just need 4 bedrooms anymore. I need that extra bedroom to create a home office. I need a basement that's either finished or I can finish to create another workspace, because I'm not being brought back to my full-time in-person work experience anymore.
Interesting. All right, finally, Scott, for people considering entering the housing market pretty soon, what do experts think is going to happen this year with Omicron, of course, as the wild card?
Yeah, it sure is. Now, there are, of course, a lot of different opinions on this, Michael. The National Association of Realtors predicts the market is still going to remain very strong overall, but it may settle down to closer than normal levels. But we all want to know, what does that exactly mean? That was the final question for Charlie Hunt, specifically for Western New York.
I think we're going to see 2022 look a lot like 2021 in terms of high quality inventory selling lightning fast with multiple offers. I think we might see, instead of getting 14 offers on a house, we might get 7 or 8, which would just be indicative that some of the people that would have bid on that house before did actually ultimately get a house already. So they're not in that market anymore. I think that it's going to be, and we'll see appreciation. I don't know that we'll see the 14 and 15% again. But I think it's going to be a strong year for Western New York. And, you know, Buffalo has deserved this for a long time, to see some appreciation and see some equity built and some real wealth built in our homes. And I think it's not going to go away. It just might slow down a little bit.
Yeah, great insight to get from Charlie there. And Scott Levin appearing on the town hall. We like it. Thanks for that, Scott.
Thanks, Michael. We'll see you at 6.
All right. And on that note, thank you everybody for joining us. Our 6 o'clock newscast with Scott and Mary Alice is coming up next. We'll leave you with our text line number. It is 716-849-2220. We hope to hear from you.